So any questions on 1 through 9? Making sure you ask questions, because if you don't ask questions, then things will go bad quickly. Because if you know this, I'm gonna assume you know it, and we're gonna move on. Okay? Any questions? Morgan?
Do you have to put the 1 there?
The 1 right here, you do not have to.
So you just put the minus?
Yes. And you will see if the 1 isn't there, that's usually how biology people write it. Okay? Biology people usually don't put the 1 there. Chemistry people usually do. Okay, from 10 until 18. Any questions there? Any questions at all? Happy to answer any single thing you have. Yes, Ida.
Well, 14, how did you know it was negative?
Great question. So if we take out our sheet, we have oxide. If it ends in "ide," I know it's going to be monoatomic. Okay? And we are looking at "ide." "Ide" are anions. And I'm going to write the formula for it. So I'm going to write the symbol. So I'm going to write an O. And then I'm going to look up O on my periodic table. So on my periodic table, I have 2 numbers. I have the charge of my ions, right? And then I have the valence, number of valence electrons, right? So I'm going to look up O, you see it? And I'm going to write a 2 minus. Does that make sense? Arrow.
I'm confused on 18. I thought it was just positive charge, not 2.
Cadmium.
Yeah.
Cadmium is one of our special ones, and we have to look up, this is why we got this periodic table. Remember, we have to look at the little itty-bitty number above the CD. You see how it's a 2 there? That's how I'm going to know. And we do that for 3, these 3 right here. So zinc is a 2 plus, cadmium is a 2 plus, and silver is a 1 plus. Unless they tell you otherwise. And they would do that with the Roman numeral. Any other questions on these? Great questions. Fabulous job. Okay? Now you need to write what you learned. Did you learn anything from the sheet? So write, I learned that. Hopefully you learned 2 to 3 things. Right? I learned that. Does anybody want to share their learning? Allie? What did you learn?
I learned that the ending IDE means an ion is monatomic.
Fabulous. DJ?
I learned that some, when you have it in the formula, that it could have any numerals.
Good work. Savannah?
That you can write the 1 plus the 1 minus, just the plus.
And what is your favorite Cinderella song?
I don't know.
You don't know. That is a good old band from my day. Look at the hair on that band. Do you see her shirt? Savannah, I just horribly embarrassed you. I'm sorry. But you should look at Savannah's shirt. She has the band Cinderella on it. And they have big hair. Yes. Good band. Okay. A little bit of hard rock for you. Okay. That was boring, wasn't it? What's the next page? Next page we had to do, very good, was this one right here. So could you turn to that one? These were so what? Easy. All you had to do was look them up on this page. You just had to look them up. Every single one. And you need to remember that. Polyatomic ions are easy. So let me tell you the answers for those. Do you think you could read my writing? Maybe, maybe not. My stuff is getting disorganized. Here it is. Which sheet do you want? Do you want this one? Or do you want this one? Which one do you like? The black or the blue? Okay. So there's 1 through 8. I may have spelled some of the words wrong. Don't hurt me. Because I did those from memory. Going down the page. Number 17. Yes, there are 2 I's in a row. Triiodides. We break all the English rules there. Any questions? 1 through 17. Some of these you might have had to Google. I think number 17 wasn't on your ion sheet. Am I right? Okay. Googling chemistry thing is fun anyway. Who wouldn't want to Google chemistry things? What happened last week that your grandkids are going to ask you what your life was like when this happened? What happened last week that was really special? It doesn't have anything to do with chemistry.
Was it the landing?
Yes.
What happened?
The rover.
We had the
Mars.
Perseverance land on Mars. So we're actually actively exploring Mars right now. And your kid, that was like groundbreaking. That was like, everybody, remember, was excited about the moon and nobody thinks that we really landed on the moon. Well, we really landed on Mars, and you should be watching it because it's live. It's live streaming from NASA. That's pretty cool. And probably within your lifetime, people will travel to other planets.
So wait, what are they doing?
They're exploring it. They're trying to figure out what's in the soil. So then once they figure out what's in the soil, they can actually figure out how they could grow things and make food. So they're just taking measurements on the planet so that when people do go there, they know what to send with them. Okay, obviously there's a lot of iron there because that's why it's red. But they're worried about oxygen and they need carbon and some nitrogen. So those are the kind of things, those elements that you need to in order to sustain life.
Don't they need water?
Yeah, if they have the oxygen and the hydrogen, then they can make the water.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. So they're going to have to set up their ecosystem if they're going to survive. And their ecosystem, obviously, is going to have to overcome radiation because it doesn't have an atmosphere. And so there's a lot of radiation going into Mars. I don't know if you read the sci-fi book where the Martian people live actually underground. Anybody read that sci-fi book? What's the name of that book? I think it's a whole series where people live underground, and if they go out, they're killed by radiation.
Was there a movie?
It might be a movie now. I don't keep track of it.
For these, do you have to put the parentheses?
Yes.
You do?
We should put the parentheses around these because what do we always do with our polyatomic ions? We always put parentheses around our polyatomic ions. I think we wrote that down. It says parentheses and charge on outside. Okay? So we got to make sure we do that. That is an important thing that we need to do. So you're putting parentheses on the outside, and there's a big rule, the rule for the day. Here's our rule. We have 3 today. Don't touch anything in the parentheses. Don't touch it. Don't change it. Just copy it from your iron sheet onto the paper. Put the parentheses and put the charge as a superscript on the outside. Do that, you know? The second thing is, when you write a formula, it shouldn't have charges. And the third thing is, when you write a formula, it should not have Roman numerals. We haven't gotten to the formula part yet. That's phase 3. We're on phase 2 right now. Can I move this down? Yeah. So these you were just copying off your iron sheet, happily writing these down. Did you see there's 2 different ways to write acetate? Does anybody drink vinegar for fun? No, you should. It's really healthy for you. And there's different types of vinegar. You could actually go to a vinegar store and buy different types of vinegar. And then buy different types of olive oil and then mix them together and put some herbs in there. And then dip your fresh bread in it. That's cool. You should try it. It's called Baumfass, which is German. And I think it means wooden keg or something like that. But don't quote me on it. There you go. You could get your mom a little container of vinegar and a little container of oil, and then she can mix them together. And you can dip fresh bread in them by the fireplace on a snowy day. Something people usually do around Christmas. It's like a way to celebrate the holidays. If you go to a ritzy restaurant, sometimes they give that to you. They give you a plate of Italian restaurant. They'll give you a plate of vinegar and olive oil, and you mix it with your bread. And you eat it. Bread. It might affect your breath, yes, because it probably have garlic in it, but no. So there you go. Anyway, how did we get from polyatomic ions to vinegar? This right here is the part of vinegar. If you put an H in front of it, that is vinegar. So sour acetic acid is vinegar, and that's what makes your vinegar sour. Okay? Did you know that? Yeah, your vinegar that you eat is 4%. This. The vinegar that I have in the back is 30% that. So I have to add water to my vinegar before you get to play with it. Right? Okay, good job. Do we have any questions on this? Do you want to write a couple things that you learned? Right, I learned that. Did anybody do anything exciting over their break? My exciting thing was that I made tiramisu. Do you know what tiramisu is? It's an original Italian dessert. And then I fed it to my family.
Good.
I loved it. Morgan, did you like it?
I didn't eat it.
She didn't eat it.
Oh.
It took me 4 hours to make.
And she didn't even eat.
Morgan.
I'm sorry. It is very fattening. So that's probably one of the reasons why people wouldn't want to eat it, is because it's not good for you. But it was a cultural experience for us. Okay, on to the next page. Now we're switching gears and we're writing formulas. We're using our step-by-step process that we wrote on the back of our sheet, remember? So Now we're switching gears and we're actually using the ions to write formulas. So those of you that had Mrs. Timmerman, she taught you how to do this. So if you have physical science, you're going back into your physical science archives and you're doing this.
So I did that, but some of the subscripts I didn't write them like in the middle of the letters. I just wrote it on the outside. So like I multiplied them. Are you supposed to do that?
You're supposed to multiply them.
Right.
So would you like me to do this problem for you?
So I just wrote like AL of 6.
Oh, you can't do that. No. That was very creative though. So let's do this one right here. I'll do a little review. Al 3 plus, O2 minus. First thing you do is write the ions down, then you multiply them. Then you, third step is you write that up above. Fourth step is you divide. 6 divided by 3 is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. And then here are my rules for the day. Rule number 2. When you write your formula, you never have charges in it. Rule number 3, when you write your formula, you never have Roman numerals in it. So this formula down here, I'm going to write PB O2. I'm not going to write PB Roman numeral 4 O2. That would be a no-no. No. No Roman numerals, no charges.
Yeah, I understand that now. I just did it wrong.
Okay, great thing to learn. Did you fix it?
I will.
Okay. Can I move this over? I'm going to move this over 2 columns. So this is column 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Tell me if I need to zoom in. Do I need to zoom in back there? Yes.
Which one's that?
Oh, not any 7 anymore. So this is column, this is column 4, column 5, column 6.
For which column is that?
5, I think. Oh, 4, 5, 6. Can I move down? Columns 4, 5, and 6. No Roman numerals, no charges. How'd you do, Louise? Where did you go wrong? Can I look?
Yeah. I did the last one, so I forgot to do it.
You forgot how to do it?
No, I forgot to do it.
Go sleep.
Did somewhere here.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, on to the last 2 columns. Any questions on these? Because we're going to continue working with these. If they're just going to get bigger now. Okay? Because these were with monoatomics. Today we're going to use polyatomics. All right. I'm going to stop my video here.